Hi, Beat. Welcome to Razmafzar TV. How are you today?
I'm good. Thanks for this opportunity to look at some more interesting things.
Yes, it's lovely always to talk to you about different things. It's like going together to a museum, right, Beat?
Exactly. Virtual museum visits.
That's true. Today we are going to talk about a very important museum in Muscat in Oman, National Museum. And they have, of course, many, many items. But what we are going to concentrate is on the collection of arms and armor. Of course, that's what we are going to do. Right.
That's no surprise, is it?
Exactly. So we are going to see Omani daggers. We are going to see Omani swords. We are going to see also Persian blades because they love Persian blades. We are going to explain
Hmm.
why. And they also have an extensive collection of Iranian bronze weapons, and they say they're from Iran. They say they from different collections there.
Hmm. Yeah.
And we are going at the end to see some good pieces which they sell in Omani bazaars because they kept the tradition of making exquisite daggers. Guys, I would like to say something. Those things which are come to the West and are sold at cheap prices, we are not talking about them. Because if you want to buy a newly exquisite Omani blade, be it a sword or be it a dagger, they are quite expensive, guys, right? So,
Yeah.
right?
We can sometimes be really lucky to find a very good thing cheaply, but that's not the norm. There are too many people that know what good things are like, what they look like anyway.
And I think the internet also informed people all around the world about prices,
Oh,
right? Yeah.
yeah. You can check up. I mean, the information's not always current or accurate, but there is information there. People are more aware. It works both ways. I know of sellers that have said, "Oh, this is worth $4,000," and you go, "No, it's not. It's
Yes,
not that good. It's not as good as the one you think it is." Uh, but that's how things happen sometimes.
that's true. So let me just go and share this bit and see where I put that. Okay. Uh, so okay, let's go to the big and of course Japanese armor as well. But let us go. So let us start from here. This is just a glimpse of some of these beautiful items we are going to talk about today, Pete. Look at them.
Hmm. Oh, this is magnificent stuff, isn't it?
Unbelievable.
So, I mean, when you were, I assume, our viewers may be able to correct me, um, that when you were a wealthy, important man, you had to have the most beautiful dagger
Yes.
because this was part of everyday clothing.
Yes.
And so, therefore, if you had something that was ugly or unbalanced looking or didn't conform to the standards,
Yes.
people would notice and not in a good way.
Pete,
And
I've always loved Arab daggers, be it Omani, Yemeni, Saudi, whatever.
they're
Aren't they
really quite,
beautiful?
they're both beautiful and they're striking in their design. The kind of exaggerated turn up in the scabbards that has nothing to do with the blade inside.
No.
It's just a statement of how good my dagger is.
Yes,
Uh,
that's
it's it's like in the 50s when they had like fins on cars.
true.
They didn't make them go any faster, but they showed you were very stylish or wealthy or whatever.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
but these are. It's hard to say whether they're works of sculpture or works of jewelry or both.
Exactly.
I think they're
Absolutely.
sculptural. I mean, the hand grip style for khanjars in general
Yeah.
is is really easy to exploit artistically and make it look really good.
Yes. As you said it, sculpture, jewelry is, I mean, it's unbelievable. That's art, right? Really
Yeah,
beautiful.
even the belts are outstanding.
Yes, belts as well. And what I like about this museum, most have their original
Mhm.
belts, these antique ones, which makes it
Yeah,
much more valuable.
they're and much more interesting to the viewer. I mean,
Yes.
if you're just a casual viewer and you don't know a lot about the meanings of the daggers or the importance of them in the culture or anything, you would still be impressed by the design quality, the way they're put together, the way they're doing things with a belt for a dagger that nobody else has ever done.
Yes.
You don't see
Once
this
I asked
anywhere else.
Mr. Al Gharashi, because he also comes from Kuwait, right? So all those Arab countries have this tradition, some more, some less. What
Mm-hmm.
happens to the belts of these antiques? And he said something, I got really angry. He said, you know what they do? They bring them to the West together. They're always sold together. Then they separate them, sell them separately to make more money.
Mm. Well, this is like in the old days, booksellers used to get manuscripts with paintings in them and take the book apart and sell
Oh,
the individual pages because they got, then they do it with Western books as well sometimes. I mean, nobody nowadays thinks it's a good idea, but back in the, say, 1920s, 1930s, a lot of famous manuscripts were cut up. It's
terrible.
only when people that are so rich they can afford the whole thing and buy it as a piece, or a big museum buys it, that these things are kept together sometimes. It's really quite shocking.
Shocking, yes. So, the first one, we are going to talk about Omani sabers. Guys, Omani,
Hmm.
we have also sabers, one edged as this one, which is curved, and some of them, most of them are straight double edged. But we have also Omani sabers, as you can see it here, or one edged sword. And but the
Yeah.
handle, now there are two types, but most of them look like that. We are going to see also older types, which has a quillen. This is a typical handle on Omani
Mm.
one-edged curved sword or double-edged straight swords. Isn't it beautiful,
I
Pete?
Yeah, yeah. And that shape in the handle too is very old.
Yeah.
Like they've been making them like that for centuries and centuries.
Yes.
So it's got a lot of tradition. I mean, functionally, the closest thing that occurs to me is like Burmese and Thai da.
Yes. Yes.
They're very similar, but the blade is a multi-fullered blade,
Yes.
so a
Multiple.
very high quality blade.
Yes.
The
Very.
scabbard is set so you can just hook it over your arm and have it under your armpit, so you can draw it out like that.
Yes.
Um, whether they were, I think most Arab swords were worn on baldricks,
Yes.
so that's
Most.
not an uncommon thing. But
Yes.
the quality of the silver work, and it's obviously gilded as well, is
Yes.
extremely high. I think in Oman and Yemen and places like that, they were famous for their metalwork,
Yes.
like decorative metalwork. I'm not just talking about swords, but
Very
the
famous.
physical silver work they did was
Yes.
always prized all over the Middle East.
Oh, yeah. Exceptional
Yeah,
craftsman. Mhm.
that's really quite lovely.
Lovely. Yes. And another one, please take a look at this has also a very good blade. Look at this one, Beat.
Yeah, yeah. These are see, these is that very slight curve you see in early shamshirs in Iran too, like in the period of say the early Timurid periods and things
Yes,
like that. They You don't see very much curve in the sword,
yes,
but it's a very functional curve nonetheless.
yes,
I think blades got more curved when people started wearing less armor
yes.
because the very curved swords cut so well. And if
Very
you're
well.
not facing a lot of armor, then that's what matters. Now,
Look at
again, the hilt
look at the
is
pommel,
so,
Beat. This pommel
yeah.
is typical, is metal pommel. On not on
Hmm.
all, this one doesn't have it like that. That was his decorative silverwork. But this
Hmm.
metal, this iron or steel, is very typical on many blades, on many handles, as we will see. Excuse me. Go ahead, Pete.
Yeah. No, no, it's interesting that shape of grip. I mean, it's probably very good for cutting. A lot of people talk about like how a shamshir grip stops the sword coming out of your hand. But that tapered grip like that, when you swing a sword like that, I've only ever had Thai swords like that, so I'm not an expert or anything. But it's good for cutting. You've got a lot of grip on it, even though it looks as though it might slip out of your hand. It actually, when you hold one of these in the hand, you feel a very strong
Very.
grip with the sword.
The
And
ones I handled, all of them are really strong blades. Yeah,
yeah,
very
oh,
good.
that one looks, the previous one and this one look very strong.
Very beautiful. Look how similar the scabbards are, Beat. Look.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, this might be just a straight tradition of this is
Yes.
the kind of scabbard we want to do with this. In
Yeah.
the case of this one, I have a feeling that the top mount has accidentally moved out of its place. Because see those two ridges
Yes.
between
Yes.
the the chape and the
here.
Or is it the
Let me
locket?
show
The
it here.
locket and the top one.
This one's
That's probably where that silver piece originally sat,
here.
because a lot of Middle
Like here,
Eastern,
Pete. Like
yeah,
here.
Persian,
Yes.
Turkish, whatever scabbards, they build the leather cover up to make little ridges so that the silver pieces can't move around. Of course, give it 100 years or so, that may change. But
Really.
it's really nice, and it's unique. So you've got this kind of sword along the southeastern south. It's mainly southeastern side of the Arabian Peninsula.
Yeah.
Um, it's even though there's a lot of trade with India, it's not Indian inspired. It's
Mm-mm.
purely this region.
Yes. So we can see just the blades next to each other a bit, right?
Very similar in curvature, aren't they? Do
Yes.
they have yeomans on them, or it's hard to see? It's a bit dark.
Hard to see. I don't think, I mean, I handled, okay, I cannot tell about these ones, but I handled a
Hmm.
couple of them which were curves. Those which I handled didn't have Yelman.
So they're much closer to the shamshir design
Yes.
than because the earliest sabers with the slight curvature usually had some kind of yeoman, sometimes half the length of the blade in the really old ones,
Yeah.
ninth and 10th century ones. But these look very functional too. I mean, they're very elegant. I mean,
Very,
you could see somebody's bodyguard all standing around with these under their arms, but
very nice.
and they would look beautiful. But I think they're very functional too.
Very, very. We can see the handles next to each other, Pete.
Mm. So a lot of that silver work.
Yeah.
I mean, one is repoussé and chased and everything like that, and the other one is like inlay into the actual material of the handle.
Yes.
Um, I'm going to say this. A lot of people will say, it's not true. There's a similarity to katanas in the way these handles are made too. Not
Yeah.
all katanas have straight handles. Some of them have tapers in the handle and slight swellings, and some
Yes.
they're only subtle, but there's something to. These are not meant to be used two-handed, though. I
No.
don't think.
I mean, you can easily put your both hands on them, but they are not
Yeah.
used. And when they do their traditional dance, they still do it. They do it
Mhm.
one-handed. You see that? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I Because a lot of times a long handle on a sword can be more for balance than it is to be two-handed.
Yeah.
It and also sometimes you can slip your hand down towards the end for extra reach, but
Yes.
I think that's more of a kind of
Yes.
um, taking a chance if there's an opportunity. The design work is beautiful. I mean the raised silver work with the gilding is exquisite, but the
Yeah.
other one shows kind of very strong design sense too. The one at the bottom, it's
Yeah.
really quite strong looking. I don't mean physically strong, but the lines are powerful and they're
Absolutely.
very well fitted to the shape.
Absolutely. And two
Ah.
other sabers, but they are in scabbard. Okay, and then typical Omani, as they call it in Oman, like in Iran, khanjar. They don't call it
Mhm.
janabi or jambia. And most Omani, just some features, as the colleagues told me, they have rings. This one has four. Some of them have even more, but we can discuss about it. And they have this L-shaped scabbard, right? It doesn't
Yeah,
go up, L-shaped and rings. Yes. Isn't it
yeah,
beautiful, this combination, Veet? Look at them.
it is. It's really attractive. I'm interested now. You can see the full shape on the bottom of these.
Ah, yeah, that's
It
right.
follows the curve of the blade rather than being, like parallel sided or coming into a symmetrical point.
Yeah.
This actually follows the curve of the blade and the tip, which is not that common
Yeah.
in swords in general. But you see also how when the sword is fitted in the scabbard, how it just makes a complete item. It looks like it's a just an object. You don't think, oh yeah, there's a sword in there. You know there's a sword in there, but
Yes.
we're so used to having guards on swords that say this is where the sword stops and the scabbard starts. These ones they just blend in. It's
Yeah,
an interesting artistic effect. The Khanjar in this one looks exceptionally nice.
very
It's got a
nice.
quite complex hilt as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, very nice. Really beautiful. Really beautiful. And here now we go. These are earlier types, guys. As I mentioned, it would
Yeah.
be Earlier types, much earlier, had quillons. You see that? And
Yeah.
these are very, very important blades because the museum is very proud of them. They are really old
Mm.
blades and also handles.
I yeah, the feature of the Krillin block on these is it has like a cup that fits down over the mouth of the scabbard, which seals the sword inside to protect it from moisture and everything. There are molds for these, I think, in the Al Khalili collection, molds for casting these
Oh,
from, I don't know, 8th or 9th century. These are really old designs of swords, and the blade shapes are characteristic of these. In a European context, they're more closely related to a spatha than they are to, say, later European swords. They're, in a sense, they've got a vague relationship to swords of the Carolingian Viking period.
yes,
So, because the design is that old, they've been making swords like this for so long.
yes, that's right.
It exceptional, and you see the same hilt pattern develops further in the west, and you see it in Granada in the swords of the Nasrid dynasty in Granada have this kind of. It's not exactly the same, but you can see that it's influenced by this style. So this is kind of like the seminal style that influences all the other styles, and it's not like Sasanian swords; it's entirely different.
No, no,
This is
different.
their own particular thing.
Very different. Absolutely. Pete, this one has a marking on it, and this one is
Hmm.
multi-fullered. It's interesting.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the 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 advantage of a perfectly flat blade or a diamond section blade is that it's very easy to do decorations on the blade. With
Yeah,
a fullered blade, you're doing that for strength and lightness.
yeah,
So that's a utilitarian, practical thing to do. But flat blades, I mean, the difference in weight, maybe 100 grams or something like that, which it to the person using it, they might feel it, but it's not a huge difference.
look at the 40. Look at the here, this one and this one, Pete.
Yeah, yeah, I'm impressed. As I say, they slip over the locket
Yeah,
on the scabbard to seal it, so that it's like a lid fitting onto a jar kind of thing. It's very interesting that they should do this, and it should have persisted for such a long time.
yes,
I think, there was a short sword excavated in Nishapur from the
mhm,
Samanid period, like 9th century,
yeah,
and it had a similar
yes. I know which
crossguard
one you
pattern.
mean. Yeah, yeah,
And so this is so old. I mean, we're looking at some of the earliest straight swords that have survived. I mean, not necessarily particularly these swords, but they're so conservative in their design
yes,
that if you wanted to imagine what somebody was using in the time of the Prophet, this is
yes,
probably what it was like.
yes, yes. I agree.
Because even back then, people imported swords from Yemen and Oman.
Yes, they did.
I
They did.
mean, yeah, there was a lot of skilled people there.
Pete, look at this pommel. And this is
Hmm.
on later period. You see how similar these are?
Yeah,
It's unbelievable. Beautiful.
those pommels are like
Sorry.
multifaceted.
Yes,
Like if you made a dome and then flattened it into facets.
yes,
Um,
yes.
really, really quite attractive.
Very attractive. And now we go to the another one. Let's discuss about this. This blade is also very old, which has markings and
Oh,
fullers. And these and bead. Look how solid the blade is.
yeah. Is that it looks to me more pattern welded than Woods, but is it Woods? Because
The
they
one
did a
down
lot of
there,
Woods. Yeah.
the one down there looks more like pattern welded bead.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I thought too. Because that makes a very strong and resilient sword. Um, and look at the kind of gentle point. It's still a functional point, but it's not a long thin point for poking into somebody's mail or something like that. This is you could cut with that point as well as stab with it.
Yes,
And
very beautiful.
such a deep, prominent fuller. And I see there are two stamps there which may
Yeah,
have uh, dates or makers marks
yes.
or something like that. I've seen stamps like that on blades. Um, it's really interesting.
Very,
Uh,
very beautiful. Solid.
mm,
And one thing which
oh
is
yeah.
interesting, the museum is extremely proud of shamshir. It's a Persian shamshir, and the museum told me, I'm not only the museum, also other gentlemen from the area. Also, later we will talk about an Omani gentleman, a client from Zanzibar in
Mhm.
Tanzania, that in Oman, everyone who was rich wanted to have a Persian blade. So they try. That's why in Omani collections you find many Persian blades. Then, right? So one is
I
in the
think
museum. Yes.
there was a strong desire in a lot of the Middle East and the kind of northern part of Hindustan and places, even actually in the south to some extent, to own
Yes.
Persian swords.
Yes.
A good quality woods. I mean, and this is in areas, all the areas where these were popular. Often they could make their own woods blades of
Yes.
very high standard,
They could.
but they just this was the kind of Lamborghini of swords. I
Yes.
mean, you wanted to show off by having one of
You
these.
wanted to show off,
Mightn't be
of
the sword
course.
you used every day, but this is the show off sword, I think.
Yes. Beat, take a look. It's a solid blade. Look at the beautiful woods patterned crucible
Yeah,
steel here. Beautiful. This is a
yeah, it's got
solid
a love.
shamshir, early solid
Yeah,
shamshir. But look
yeah,
how wide this blade is compared to a solid
yeah,
shamshir.
yeah.
Look how.
But I mean, but the thing is that the bottom blade may be wide, but I don't think it's as thick as the back of the shamshir. The
No, no.
shamshir at the back are quite thick
Yes, yes.
because to make them narrow, you've got to have the blade strong enough to take a really powerful hit. I'm just looking. I don't know whether it's a effect of the photograph, but also the turnover of the pommel on the shamshir seems quite wide, like really strong for
Yeah,
getting a very good grip.
yes.
Um,
If you're going to see a
because
grip,
some,
possibly, let me just go. Yeah, that's
oh
the
good.
grip.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's encased in gilded metal as well.
Yes, and it is
That's
also
actually a
signed.
particularly nice. I mean, the crossguard is beautiful. The
Beautiful.
blade is exceptionally nice when you see it
Amale
up close.
Asadullah, this is the work of Asadullah,
Mm.
right? So, and look at the beautiful, unbelievable handle. Look at this feet.
Yeah, but even where they've wire wrapped at the base of the grip scales,
Yes,
because usually on shamshoes there'll be some kind of hollowing there so you can put a wrist strap or something on.
yes,
But that's beautifully done.
very. Such a beautiful blade.
Oh yeah.
So, let's go back to this blade. Now look at this, Pete.
So
Look, Pete,
that's
look.
engraved. It's got
Yeah,
it's got so much on it. And this
yeah.
is to me in style it looks a really old blade.
Yes, it does. And look, Pete, the only thing I can read is here Allah, God. Here is Allah. Then there are
Hmm.
lots of writings intertwined. I cannot decipher from this distance. But
Yeah, yeah.
beautiful, isn't it, Pete?
It's amazingly attractive. When you see the broadswords of this style in Topkapi,
Yeah.
which are completely covered with gold, this is one from probably where the style developed originally, and they were highly decorated even way back then. And even whether or not this was gilded when it was young, because obviously this is not a young
Yeah, could
sword.
be.
Um, but it's really quite attractive.
Yes.
And again, to our European viewers, just this is the kind of sword that would be very similar to a high Viking sword, like in the ninth century or eighth or ninth century, 10th century, whatever.
Yeah.
Its use would be very similar. They would be used with shields, not necessarily like, but this is very similar. You're getting very close to the same kind of thing.
Yes. And look at the pattern on this Persian blade bit. Here we
Oh
can see.
yeah, the woods is beautiful.
Beautiful, right? Really beautiful. So this
It's
was
one of
the
yeah,
handle. Yes.
oh, yeah. That handle is exceptionally well done. That looks like elephant ivory rather than walrus ivory. Am I
Yeah.
right? Do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look at this bit. They still make them. These are old ones. There's Tabar access in
Hmm.
Oman. They still make them bit.
Hmm.
And they're very
Are they
proud
used
of
as
it.
walking sticks? Because they look like they're about long enough.
Yes.
And which, our Polish viewers would immediately recognize this is a good idea.
Indeed,
It's the same
I
thing
have
as bread.
one of Dr. Ajmandi some time ago, some years ago, went to northern of Iran on vacation to a very remote village, and it's on our channel actually, and there they make these axe hats like this, but on the back there is a spike, and they said they kept these traditions for centuries, and back then it was used for warfare. Today, so what is it for chopping tree? But it doesn't look like something to chop trees. They said, no, listen to this. They have also long handles like that. They give it to shepherds to defend against wolves. And I said,
Yeah.
eh? And I said,
Mm.
wolves? And then it looked at me. You have been living in Europe and the West for a long time. Wolves here in Iran are not like German wolves. And I said, what do you mean? I said, Manouchehr, I know how you love animals, but these guys attack like viciously, right? And I said,
Mm.
really? So that's what I don't know. They told me. I'm not a shepherd to
Well,
verify, right?
I only have to look at the demon wolves in Persian miniatures. Quite clearly, wolves have a very bad reputation. It's interesting in modern Mongolia, wolves are considered particularly dangerous predators as well. So I think when you're shepherds, when you're protecting your sheep, then wolves are a really serious issue. It's not wolves wanting to eat people, it's wolves wanting to take your livelihood.
Yes.
Because sheep are very tasty. And but oh yeah, I mean this kind of a long handle with a small axe head like that, the degree of penetration you would get is phenomenal. And a spike on the back might be quite useful for dragging things along behind you as well. I often think that there's a lot of practical reasons for some of these things. I mean, when they're originally made, like in the 1100s or whatever, the original axe head, if they started putting spikes on them, it would have been fighting people in armor or hooking shields or something. But these are very much like a kind of extended version of a tabazin
Yes.
in the
Yes.
sense that the hammer side of the axe is quite well developed.
Well
It's
developed.
interesting. A lot of cultures, the back of the axe is made to be used as a hammer,
Yes.
and like carpenters use the axe blade to shape things, and they use the back to hammer in nails or
Yes.
wooden pegs or whatever. So it's a very practical thing, yet quite well. I mean, they're very decorative. I mean, they're very nicely designed.
You look
But
at the
when you want to,
decoration. Yes, very nice. You don't want to do
I,
use it as an everyday tool, huh?
no, this is as I say, maybe as a walking stick to show off that you're a successful shepherd or whatever. The thing that amazes me in New Guinea, north of Australia, um, in the 30s and 40s, they used to sell little hatchet blades to the people living there. And instead of making little tomahawk or hatchets for chopping wood, they put them on a long handle like that and used them in tribal warfare. And
Oh,
you could split a person open
yeah,
with
of
the,
course.
the blade is only a little bit wider than that.
Of course. Very
And
dangerous
it, well, it's oh, this is better than a stone axe. Let's give it a go. And there was a lot of tribal warfare in the old days. But you can see if somebody attacked you and you had this as your walking stick and you just reversed it and grabbed it by the other end and swung it at them, they'd be in a lot of trouble.
Oh yeah, of course. There are a lot of
And
trouble.
and if a wolf is attacking one of your sheep and you whack it on the back of the head with that, it's an ex-wolf.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
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 over.
your new fur coat
It's over. Yeah,
because
absolutely. No chance for a
yeah,
wolf to handle such a strike.
yeah.
Impossible. And